All right, everybody. I have got a special interview with our very own Janice, the Queen, England. Janice, what is up? How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, doing well, getting over a bit of a cough, but I think
So,
everybody is.
a lot of people thought you were finished, you were done. They haven't heard from you, they haven't spoken from you, even though you and I communicate regularly. You mean Phil can communicate regularly, but people are always asking, is she still alive?
Yeah,
What
definitely.
happened to her? What happened? And here you are. So we're actually talking about this new project behind the scenes. You were making a new project that really, like I said before we started recording this, is very, very inspirational. And I wanted to really record this. So, what have you done over the last couple of months? Tell me what is this new thing you have been working on?
Well, I've been learning how to use AI. As you know, I'm intrigued by various computer things, and AI was in the news, and I thought, well, I really ought to learn how to use this.
Yeah, but
So
wait a minute. You're a Christian, right?
yeah.
Isn't it from the devil?
No, I don't think so.
No,
Tools are innate, aren't they? It's with how you use them.
it's how you use them.
Yeah.
In I re, what I normally hear, and we gotta bring this up, but you're a very healthy, vigorous woman in her 70s.
Early 70s, just into
Yeah,
the
well, I was
70s.
gonna say you look at least 10 years younger, right? At least, right? So, but you are in your 70s. That's a big deal
Yeah.
because most people, and I speak to a lot of people that are your age. That's our community. My father's 80, and Philip's in his upper 70s, right?
Mhm.
But most people in our community are terrified of AI. They're just happy. Well, I just figured out how to use Gmail and get on the internet. But what you found out was that AI. I'm going to quote you this on this one. Let me get into this. I have a quote from you, believe it or not, and I want to make sure I get it right. And I'm going to send that out to all to see. But first, let me make sure I get it right. Let's see. And at first, I thought AI was scary and too complicated for me. This is you. But I found out it's quite easy and has made my life quite exciting. It's like having a team of professionals at your service full time. Are you saying I wasn't professional enough for you?
Of course not, Steve. Of course not.
So how did you overcome? How did you come this overwhelming feeling like, oh my God, AI? Like how did what made you do that?
I think curiosity was the main thing. I do like learning new things. As you know, we've been teaching things over the years to our community, and AI is very topical at the moment. So I mostly used ChatGPT. I have looked at others, and occasionally I do use others.
Okay, so you were you. I love this. I think one of the keys we just got from you is having this view of constantly learning.
Mhm.
It's never too late. You're never too old, right? Because so many people could said, I'm too old for that. Like my father would have said that, right? Like, write a book. My dad's got some great stories. Write a book. I'm too old for that, right? What a lie, right?
Yeah, it is a lie.
It is a
It is.
lie. So first you're exploring ChatGPT, and then when does this idea to start writing, let's just do the 30,000 foot view, to write a book, when does that come into picture?
Well, as you know, my background is in accounts. So I started there and I was considering that in the context of AI and other tools, that many small business owners have this mental block and they don't pursue actually learning about accounts. That's how I started, because they leave it all to their accountant, let's say. So I created, while I was thinking about this, I was thinking, there are lots of blockages. And I had this inspiration of giving these blockages or challenges a name, each a name. And I came up with these 7 business dragons. And
Okay, so that's very interesting because this is another really cool thing that you did automatically was you noticed the pattern, you noticed a problem, right? This is so entrepreneurial. You recognize a problem in your own life, and then to help yourself deal with them, you've given them all names, right?
yeah,
And so, okay, so you got that. So, what are the 7? What are these blockages?
well, one I think you mention often is that people keep tweaking. They have an idea, maybe they've written a book or an article, and they think it's not good enough. So they keep tweaking. They change the font, they change the alignment, they change the minute details. And I called this dragon Faffasora because they keep faffing around. And
You know
so,
what's great? You know what's great is we would say in the business world, we would say there's no such thing as perfection. You're a perfectionist,
mhm,
right? You've totally dismantled that word into this little cute little fluffy dragon, fluffosaurus, fuffing around, right?
yeah.
And so you've made this big thing into this cute little. I love it. I love it. Okay, so what's another one? Give me some more.
Right. So another one I've called is Distractosaurus Rex. So that's not a cute little dragon.
Ah,
It's one that distracts you from the main. You've just turned off your video.
yeah. I want to get some better bandwidth. But go ahead.
Okay. So this is the one that distracts you from the main um, focus. And that could just be getting going down the rabbit hole in Facebook, for example, or one of the social medias that you can spend a lot of time just
Oh yeah.
following the social media and you get distracted from
Right.
the focus.
And then you think you're busy, right? You're
Yeah.
making yourself feel good with like
Yeah.
this false good feeling. It's like a drug, right? And you think you're
Mm-hmm.
busy, then hours go by, and you're like, I actually did nothing. And then you feel worse.
Yep.
So Disastersaurus Rex is a big, big problem. All right, what else you got? What other you got? What other one
Okay. So now I've got one that looks a little bit like an ostrich, which I've called Overwhelmina,
you
where
got?
everything that's going on, there are too many things going on, and you feel a bit like an ostrich and burying your head in the sand.
Mm.
And so that one is Overwhelmina.
Yeah, there are days like that, right? Especially if you're a solo entrepreneur or if you live at home, by yourself. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and just, I don't want to deal with it, right? And you kind of put your head under the sand. You don't think about it. I love it. So you made all these characters first for yourself, and then you decided to write a book because you figured, well, there's other people like me, but this is not for adults. This is a children's book you wrote.
Yes, well, I did a presentation or presentation, as you say,
Thank you
about
for correcting yourself. Thank you for correcting yourself.
these 7 dragons for
A
a
Toastmaster.
meeting, and afterwards, one of the um, attendees came up to me and said, I love what you've done. You really ought to think about doing something for children." And I thought, okay,
Oh, see, I love that because you're now impacting social behavior. You're now impacting character at the time when they're really developing this, right? This is really
oh,
cool. Oh, wow.
So while I was considering, well, how what do I do, I came up with these characters for children, which one was based on maybe a child that feels a little clumsy. And I thought, well, you don't want to advertise that. You know, that's not nice. That they don't
All
like
right.
feeling like that.
Are you clumsy? This book's for you.
Yeah.
Made for children. That's really bad. I agree.
So I came up with this name, Flumbasora. So she
Oh,
flumbles around, and it's not deliberate, it's part of her character.
oh, that's so
And
beautiful.
so, and she's got a little friend called Minurella, who is a very sparkly dragon who, when she's excited, glitter she releases glitter unintentionally. And so the first story is about Flumbasora's first flight. And as you can imagine, it doesn't go as well as expected. And we have Minurella, who's her friend, encouraging her, and she's there with her. And in this Ledgerland's kingdom, we have a queen. Well, we've got two queens actually. One is of wisdom, and the other is kindness. And the Anastasia, Queen Anastasia, is the one that encourages the little dragon to not give up. And just because you don't do it, you fail the first time, just to keep going.
Wow. So let me just sum this up. Then I want to show you what she made because the artwork was done by AI,
Mm-hmm.
right? The formatting and all that. All this stuff was done by AI. Do you remember when you and I first met, the amount of work we would have to go through to get this?
Mm-hmm.
It would cost enormous amounts. If you had the tech, you had to know. So back then, it was Adobe Suite, right? Then Canva came out, but it was
Mm-hmm.
nothing even close to this. Then you finally went to like Fiverr or people per hour, and you paid people to do it, right? Which cost money and time. And this, you speak and it happens right in front of you. And
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's a little simplified, but yes.
yeah, but you have to have the right prompts, and that's the key. Friends, I want you to click the link below to book a 15-minute call with Janice. If you want to find out, she has these keys on how to have AI work and think the way you want it to work and think. And it's really cool. But before we do that, let's take a look. I want to show you this book on Amazon right now. So let me share my screen. And I think here it is. Boom. Flumblasaurus First Flight. Hi, I love it. Look at this artwork. Look at this. So the turquoise one is Flumbasaurus. Who's the one to the right?
That's Minurella.
Minura, and the middle one
Is Queen Anastasia.
Queen Anastasia or Anastasia, as we like to say. So look at this. This is really, really cool. I'm going to follow you. And you can pre-order on Kindle for 402. Now, what we're going to do, Janice, is we're going to create a little YouTube channel, right? Where you're going to read the book and we're going to show the pages of the book full screen. So you can put your grandchildren, your children, or tell your children to put their children. You can put them in front of this YouTube. They can have a book in front of them. You got a coloring book coming out as well, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and this is all AI's. Look how, do you see how she's beaming, friends? Like, you are so full of life. I mean, have you noticed a renewed passion, a renewed joy in life doing this?
Yes, and it's very satisfying too, because you've got help. That I think that's the main thing with AI. Sometimes you can feel overwhelmed because you don't know what to do or how to do it.
exactly. And so you made a whole series. Here's
Mm.
another one. Pyros and the Marshmallows. I guess what's this guy's name here?
He's Pyros.
Pyros. I
Yeah.
guess he tries to roast the marshmallow and
Well, he's yeah,
it goes wrong.
yeah,
It
yep.
goes wrong. So I love these are great books. They learn real practical things, biblical character, how to handle being awkward, how to handle being upset, how to handle being distracted, how to handle not feeling like you fit in. And I absolutely love. And let me show you again the Amazon. It hasn't even launched yet. You're going to get an email from us. Look at this. This is Janice. Well done. You are an inspiration. In her 70s, she writes children's books. Friends, I know. First of all, I want you to buy this book, right? Digital version. You can send it to your grandchildren, great grandchildren. Some of you know great grandchildren. And some of you who are younger, send to your children, right? Or it's great. But I also want you to click the link below if you are interested. If you thought like this is it, life's finished, and I'm just going to do nothing, and you're bored, that's also not biblical. It's not what the Word of God says. I keep trying to find the word retirement in the
Mm.
Word of God. I haven't found it anywhere.
Not there, is it? It's not there.
No, no, and woman, you are a fantastic example of someone because we went through a rough time as CYN, brutal. We're still going through a brutal time, and you picked yourself up, right? You just engaged. There's so much to learn from you. I'm so grateful to have known you. You're a real inspiration, Janice. Friends, I want you to click that book. I want you to buy the book. Let's make Janice the #1 bestseller. And please, I think my I've said this to Dr. Joseph Romiti, actually several people. And I said it to you and Philip. I think people who are approaching their 70s, coming into their 70s, certainly after 65, you are approaching your golden years. And I mean that in a really good way. The fullness of experience, knowledge, network, everything that you have. And what you couldn't do before at your age, like 2 decades ago, AI now picks up the ball and does it.
Mhm.
And you don't have to be an expert in any of this crap. All you have to do is kind of tell it, solve a problem, which is what Janice did. And you're solving two problems at once, and you're hitting both generations. You're hitting the youngest generation, influencing how they experience life, helping it to categorize things, very important, so they don't feel alone, they don't feel awkward. But you're also inspiring and encouraging an entire boomer generation that, quite frankly, it is, I don't want to touch AI. I don't want to get into that. And you've made it easy. Click the link to book a time with her and get that book. Janice, thank you so much. Guys, the next video is coming up is going to be Janice reading the books. And I can't wait to do that. God bless you guys. Thank you, Janice, for being here.